Good day everyone, I am Teresita Gutierrez from Group 2, in which I will present and discuss our topic, which is the changing the global landscape and the 21st century skills for the teachers. So the Philippines experienced many changes. As it approached the 21st century, these changes have encompassed all aspects of life in the country, from political to economic, technology, society, and the environment. Comparable changes have occurred in other Southeast Asian countries. All this will definitely have a significant impact to all the teachers and the students as they face life in the 21st century. It is important that you understand these changes so that you will be better equipped to adapt to them. In turn, you will also be better at helping your students to adapt to these changes as well. Always remember that you cannot give what you do not have. Changing the global landscape and the 21st century skills for teachers. We're in an era of a borderless flat world. Barriers have been broken by new information and communication technologies. The development of 21st century skills is a necessary tool for teachers. Without these 21st century tools, no teachers can survive. It is because the 21st century education is about giving teachers and students the skill they need to succeed in this new world and helping them to grow the confidence to practice those skills with so much information readily available to them. 21st century learning skills focus more on making sense of that information, sharing, and using it in smart ways. The Coalition Partnership for 21st Century Learning has identified 4 skills for today. These are creativity, critical thinking, communication, collaboration. So these 4 themes are not to be understood as units or even subjects, but as themes that should be overlaid across all curriculum, mapping, and strategic planning. They should be part of every lesson in the same way as literacy and numeracy, in which creativity is about thinking through information in new ways, making new connections, and coming up with innovative solutions to problems, while critical thinking is about analyzing information and making solutions to the problem. Communication is understanding themes well enough to share clearly with other people, and the last one, collaboration, is about the teamwork and the collective genius of a group that is more than sum of its parts. The new learning environment is characterized by the following: learner-centered, new spaces and borderless, enhanced opportunity for creativity and innovations, and ICT. So the new learning environment and the explosion of knowledge, content, or subject of learning has been modified from a specific discipline or subject area. Subject matter learning has the following characteristic. So by that, this is the new learning contents. The new learning contents. First one is integrated, interdisciplinary. Second, demand-driven. Third, emphasis on learning tools on how to retrieve knowledge. And fourth, balance of scientific, technological, cultural, global, and local concepts. So by that, teaching it has become more and more complex and challenging nowadays. The students' disobedience, argumentation, rudeness level of the students is on the rise, while the patience level of students is decreasing due to the modern age stress, competition, availability of so many sources of knowledge like internet, TV series, movies that showing violence, and so on. As education advances with the help of technology, it becomes very clear that modern teachers are very different from the traditional teachers. The teachers are facilitators of the learning. The focus of a 21st century teacher is on students developing higher order thinking skills, effective communication, collaboration, and other skills that they need in the 21st century with the advancement in the study of mind and cognition, various processes of learning evolved with human intervention of teachers and peers as well as non-human intervention of artificial intelligence of robots. With this advancement, different processes of learning and the methods to facilitate this have evolved. This include the idea of multiple ways of learning which can be mediated by the following. The new processes of learning. And how will this be facilitated? So these are the new processes of learning and how will this be facilitated? First one is face-to-face, when learners and teachers are confined in the same learning space. At the same time, with the teacher facilitating learning. Second one, distance learning, when teaching learning is mediated by traditional with the use of modules in print or modern technology, online or offline, without the physical presence of the teacher in a virtual class, and it can be synchronous or asynchronous. Third one is blended modalities, when teaching and learning is facilitated through face-to-face or distance learning, which enable the teachers and learners to have both physical presence and physical absence in the teaching learning processes. And the next, experiential and lifelong, when learners are immersed into the real-life situation such that teaching becomes more authentic and meaningful. And now, we are in the new types of learners. So by that, we have the new types of learners. So the new breed of learners does not have age boundaries. Learners may be in an informal, formal, or informal setting. First one is a confident person. This is the one who thinks independently and critically, and who communicates effectively. Second one is the self-directed learner, who questions, reflects, and takes responsibility for his or her learning. Next is a concerned citizen, in which he is the one informed about the world and local affairs and has a strong sense of civic responsibilities and participates actively in improving the lives of others. And last one is a member of the new generation. This is the one that influenced from pop culture and have a different ways of thinking and responding. So these two types of learners are those coming from diverse background, multicultural, multi-generational, as coming from different age groups of lifelong learners. So in order for every learner to address the challenges of the century, he or she has to develop a life career skills. Life and career skills are enhanced in schools as part of the learning outcomes. So for changing the globalizing world, the role of teachers is essential to improve the sustainable education, at the same time inspiring and guiding the students in increasing the employability skills with the digital tools in the prerequisite for a teacher. Thus, a teacher in the 21st century will be a digital teacher. Teachers are not facilitator for learning of the students only, and now they are responsible for training the students for increasing employability skills, expanding the mind of growing digital citizenship, critical thinking, and creativity as well. As sustainable learning, thus, the winning of the student is the winning of the teachers. So with the passage of time and integration of the technology in every sector, the teacher role has changed a lot. They need to enrich some skills to develop their students, otherwise the students will not get the lesson, and it will increase of the educated and unemployed in the digital era. This is the end of my part in this lesson. My group mates will carry on our next discussion. Thank you very much for listening.
Ms. Arnie May Madera from BSET 1A Frappel. I will discuss to you the life and career skills of a teacher. Number 1, adaptability and flexibility. Learners adapt to various roles responsibilities, and schedules. Despite the complex conditions, they are able to do the different tasks at one time. Recognition of this potential will give a signal to the teacher to provide all learners the opportunities developed for individual potential of being adaptable and flexible. Rigidity runs counter the development of these skills. Number 2, initiative and self-direction. A self-directed learners demonstrate life and skills. Goals are set and managed by themselves. There is a commitment to learning as a lifelong process. Many of young learners are capable of doing things without being told. They are take initiatives. They do not need to be given detailed instruction. They plan and work out their plans. Like the learners, the teacher should also possess the same skills. Social and cross-cultural skills. These life and career skills require learners to respect cultural different, work effectively with others, to be open-minded to different ideas in order to innovate and improve quality of work. If one understands the other culture, it will be easy to respect. Disrespect may spring from ignorance and bias. To be able to appreciate the mores, it will be easy to respect tradition, history of others. One needs to be open and willing to accommodate and compromise. Productivity and accountability. Individuals who possess these skills are able to produce results. They respect teamwork, cooperation, they manage time very well, and can do multitask. The most tangible proof that one has done something is the product or result. It can be an idea or material product. When one is tasked to do something, that person has an accountability to produce result as evidence of a job done. Better results are accomplished if done together through collaboration and cooperation. Leadership and responsibility. Good learners use interperson and problem-solving skills, which integrity and ethical behavior to influence and guide others. Leadership and responsibility are life skills that should be developed by all learners and teachers. Leadership is not assigned, it is earned. As the saying goes, leaders are born, but they can also be made. That new type of teachers, as teachers are currently preparing students for jobs and technologies that don't even exist yet. The challenge then is to produce new type of teachers. Teachers of the 21st century's learners teach within the context of new environment, new content or knowledge, and new process of teaching and learners. Ito na nga yung iba na yung ano ng mga teacher ngayon. Kumbaga dati, ang hawak lang nila is chalk sa board or kaya pambara, ganon. Pero ngayon, ang hawak nila laptop or anything technologies. Hence, the new type teachers must be possessed that following characteristics: clear standards and accountability that their learners should know and be able to do the end of their schooling. Use broad pedagogies including inquiry-based learning, cooperative learning, others pedagogies. Skillful in the integration of ICT in pedagogy. Skillful in use of assessment to guide teaching and learning. Great understanding of local and global cultures. Skillful in action research to diagnose and solve. Classroom problems based on evidence. Practice the core values of inspiring teacher and develop life and career skills for the 21st century and beyond. Thank you.
So, hello everyone. I am Rachel Mariano. I am going to discuss the UNESCO 4 Pillars of Learning from Deloitte from Within. What is UNESCO? UNESCO stands for United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. It is a specialized agency of the United Nations that was established in 1945 and is based in Paris or France. UNESCO mission is to contribute to the building of a culture of peace, the eradication of poverty, sustainable development, and intercultural dialogue through education, the sciences, culture, communication, and information. The UNESCO acronym for United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Organization, a specialized agency of the United Nations (UN), was outlined in a constitution signed November 16, 1945. So next, United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO. So, who is Jacques Lucien Jean Delors? Jacques Delors, born 20 July 1925, is a French politician who served as the 8th President of the European Commission from 1985 to 1995. He served as the Minister of Finance of France from 1981 to 1984. He was a member of the European Parliament from 1979 to 1981. The 4 pillars of learning. The four pillars of learning are the learning to know, learning to live together, learning to do, and learning to be. The 4 pillars of learning are seen as fundamental principles for reshaping 21st century education. Learning to live together, para sa akin, this is the learning process is always in the environment. The more we interact, the more we learn from it. So, kapag sinabi namang learning to be, in the title itself, to be, it is the desire or eagerness to develop one's child. Kapag sinabi namang learning to do, it is the learning to adopt different skills that the child can use in her everyday lives and to become globally competent. Kapag sinabi naman learning to know, the learning processes of the child is generally knowledge. The specific the process of the children to learn is wide spectrum, going to specific true of the things. Okay, next naman tayo. According to Delors report, this is the Delors report 1996, Learning the Treasure from Within. Reaffirms the view of Education Commission 1964-66, when it visualized learning to harnessing the treasure from within. According to Delors report, the Constitution, the heartbeat of society, while learning to know, learning to do, learning to live together, or learning to be, constitute four pillars of education: mutual understanding, peaceful interchange, and harmony can be taken as the social of education. So, ito yung consciously focusing from within gives meaning to yourself and to your knowledge and to your leadership. Meaning that inspire you, evolve others to develop. Belonging is a fundamental human need. Without it, your leadership. So next, how many countries are UNESCO? There are 193 members. The organization has 193 members, and 11 associate members of UNESCO is governed by Article 2 and Article 15 of the Constitution and by Rules 98 to 101, the Rules of Procedure of the General Conference. Also, but before that, there have 5 permanent members of United Nations: China, France, Russia, United Kingdom, lastly, the United States. Next, what is an example of literacy? Literacy is defined as being able to read and to write, or to having knowledge about a specific subject. We can read this. This is an example of literacy.
Hi, I'm Lady Laarni Lumagaya, and I will be reporting the 21st century literacy. Hi, and here it is the 6 literacies. The first one, the arts and creativity. This literacy can be manifested in creative ways of problem solving and expressed through the production of various artworks. Teacher and student need to be more adept in arts and manifest creativity in various activities. And the second one, ecoliteracy, or the ecological literacy, is the ability to understand the natural systems that make life on Earth possible. To be ecoliterate means understanding the principles of organization of ecological communities and using those principles for creating sustainable human communities. And the third one is the digital or cyber literacy. Digital literacy, also known as cyber literacy, is an umbrella term that refers to the ability to use computer technologies effectively and to understand the implications of your actions, being able to critically use technology, navigating through various online forums, handling different types of devices. And the fourth is the financial literacy. It has the ability to understand and effectively use various financial skills, including personal financial management and budgeting and investing. Financial literacy is the foundation of your relationship with money, and it is the lifelong journey of learning. The fifth one is the media and information literacy, or the media literacy. It consists of the knowledge, attitude, and the sum of the skills needed to know when and what information is needed, where and how to obtain that information, and how to evaluate it critically, and organize it once it is found, and how to use it in an ethical way. And here is the last one, globalization and multicultural literacy. Globalization and multicultural literacy is knowledge of cultures and language. We live in multicultural societies, teach in multicultural settings, and our students interact with those who came from different societies or different places. Awareness of and sensitivity to culturally determined norms promote understands. And now I think I will be the last reporter for Chapter 5. Ms. Nelma Messina is the next reporter and she will be reporting the Chapter 6.
Good day everyone. I am Nelma Santos Messina. I am taking Bachelor of Early Childhood Education Section 1A. So today, we will tackle all about Chapter 6, Ensuring Teacher Qualities Through Competencies Framework and Standards. This chapter basically focuses on how to become or occur teacher qualities. This chapter has 4 topics. So first is quality teachers and teachers' quality defined. The second is the competency framework for teachers in Southeast Asia. Third one is the Philippine qualifications framework. And the last one is Philippine professional standards for teachers. So, in our introductions, are qualified teachers really quantity teachers? Teachers' quality manners. Most educators and policymakers agreed one of the most important school-related factors influencing students' achievements and outcomes is teacher quality. According to Rice 2003, it has been found out to be the best predictor of students' outcome, according to Rivkin, Honosken, and Kian in 1999 and Rice 2003. One of the biggest challenges of ensuring teacher quality is the attractiveness of teaching professions. The teaching profession is not attractive like the other professions. That is why it does not always get best materials. This is cause of concern in many countries around the world, as exemplified in the Global Teachers Status in 2013. So, most educators and policymakers agree that one of the most important school-related factors influencing students' achievements and outcomes is teaching or the teacher quality. Since it's the teacher who directly impact and influence students, teacher also redirects students' learning, thinking, and behavior. Redirect means to move in specific directions. Is a teacher prepared well? Who the student can learn best, so the student can really motivated. After that, we have to define the quality of teachers and the teacher's quality defined. So in lesson 3, we have to discuss much about the attribute of teachers in the 21st century. What really is a quality teacher? Quality teachers are characterized by the different skills needed in the 21st century education. So, quality teachers are characterized by the different skills needed in the 21st century education. So, these are global awareness, financial and economic business and entrepreneurial literacy, civil literacy, and health literacy, and included are knowledge and their values. Here the crystal clear framework in the 21st century skills, which include global topic and skills that prepare young learners for a more competitive global environment to prepare them. One is the learning and innovation skills framework. On who to be a team person, this boosts interpersonal skills like critical thinking and problem-solving skills, finding best solutions in life's problem by thinking outside the box and by metacognition. And the second is creativity, giving never before in concept and idea. Lastly, the communications and collaboration skills, reaching out the other person to achieve things together and succeed. One is the information media and technology skills, include information literacy, media literacy, and ICT or the information communication technology. Learners should be fully grade by the skills on how to deal with today's knowledge explosions on the internet and how to disseminate and benefit from them. Is the life and career skills. So facilitate the children how to adapt with the other fast changing world to be ready utilize the necessary skills to survive. So quality teachers are competent teachers. Teachers with global competence are able to demonstrate knowledge, skills, values, and dispositions are described below. But after that, it refers to the teachers who possess all the good qualities of a teacher to become a quality teachers. One of most be strong in subject known the psychology of the students and know all the methods of teachings. Here are some elements of quality teachers. First is understand one's own culture identity and its influence on personal dispositions and classroom practices. Second, know the intelligent global dimensions in the subject and teacher. Third, engage students in learning. Fourth, use real-life, local, and global examples. And the fifth is values and input of culturally and linguistically diverse learners. And the sixth is create environment and encourage positive cultures or cross-cultures interactions. And the seventh is model social responsibility in local and global content. And the lastly is the help learners find appropriate action. Teacher quality is a bit difficult to define. For some countries like the United States, it has shifted its definitions for teacher quality from the possessions of a credential or certifications to what students know and are able to do with what they taught by their teachers in Teachers Quality 2013. This related to the outcomes-based educations. On the other hand, some other countries use standards for teacher quality. So, the OECD has approved in the discussion table that the core elements of the teacher quality standard should include the number one is planning and preparations. So this includes knowledge from content and pedagogy, knowledge from students, coherent instructional plan, and knowledge on how to assess student learning. So the second is student environment, including and creating a culture for learning and managing students' behavior. The third is instructions. So, includes communications effectively, using appropriate discussions, techniques, engaging students, and providing responsive feedback to learners. And lastly is the professional responsibilities, including reflecting on teaching, communications with families, contributions to the school and community, and developing professional according to Teacher Quality 2013. Differences in the context of how teacher quality is defined hints. So, there is no universal standards of teacher quality. The teaching professions needed to have standards in a way that other professions have to advise this status. So, this should be developed and owned by the teachers themselves, like in Finland, Sweden, and Denmark. In other countries, teaching standards for teacher quality are set the national and state levels, but with considerations for local flexibility in the implications. Summary, this study examined two aspects of teacher. Teacher quality refers to the characteristic that teachers possess, and teaching quality refers to what teachers do in the classroom. And foster students' learning, a quality teachers truly cares about their students and lets them know are valued, they are accepting, warm and empathetic towards their students through the feelings. So, quality teachers are defined by their attributes and characteristics with teaching quality. It's defined by the standards set for the professional and are validated the students' learning outcomes. So that's all upon my part. So once again, I am Nelma Santos Messina. I am taking Bachelor of Early Childhood Education, Section 1A. And the next reporter is Miss Christine Joy Miranda. Thank you.
Hello po, good day everyone. I'm Christine Joy Garcia Miranda, BSED 1A Probel. Today, I will discuss the competency framework for teachers in Southeast Asia, or CFT-SEA, in collaboration with the Thailand's Teacher Educational Council, SEAMEO, Secretariat, or tinatawag po natin CMES, and the SEAMEO, Regional Center for Educational Innovation and Technology, or INOTEC, initiated the competency framework for teachers in Southeast Asia, which was developed in 2017. The purpose was to revitalize teacher educational and to promote teaching as a profession of first choice by professionalizing teachers' pre-service and in-service development using the regional competency framework as a guide. It means po sa pagkikipagtulungan ng Teacher Education Council ng Thailand, ang SEAMEO Secretariat or CMES at ang SEAMEO Regional Center for Education, Innovation and Technology o yung tinatawag po nating INOTEC ang nagpasimula ng competency framework for teachers in Southeast Asia na noon ay binuuan na develop po noong 2017. Ang layunin nito ay muling pasiglahin ang edukasyon ng mga guro at isulong ang pagtuturo sa kanilang profesyon na una nilang profesyon na pinili, which is ang pagiging guro, para umunlad ng husto ang kanilang profesyon, which means that they are expected to treat individual learners and dignity, respect, and maintain standards of dress and personal grooming appropriate to their position as temporary of staff. Ito po yung tinatawag nating pre-service. Ang in-service naman po ay going or continuing while one is fully employed. Teacher education workshop ng mga guro gamit ang regional competency framework bilang gabay nila sa pagtuturo. As described earlier, teacher competencies make up quality teachers. Competencies as defined in the framework are a combination of skills, knowledge, behavior, and attributes that enable effective or superior job performance. This competency framework for teachers is a guide to improve teachers' performance across the region. It means po that Ang mga quality ng mga teachers ay nagbibigay ng mabuting personalidad na nakakatulong sa mga bata upang mas mapalawak ang kanilang kaalaman patungo sa kanilang hinaharap. They should be good in communication skills, behavior, on how to treat the students, and good in teaching because they love their profession. Ang competency framework po ay gumagabay para sa mga guro upang mapabuti nila ang kanilang pagtuturo at ma-improve pa nila yung mga performance nila sa bawat tinuturuan nila. There are 4 essential competencies and 12 general competencies in the framework. There are 31 enabling competencies and 136 success descriptors. The enabling competencies are a set of performance criteria with success descriptors that describe observable behaviors expected for teachers to perform in a high level. When used, this guide will provide common standards of performance among teachers across Southeast Asia. It means that there are 4 essential competencies and 12 general competencies in the framework. There are 31 enabling competencies and 136 success descriptors. Ang paggamit ng mga competencies na ito ay mahalagang criteria ng mga descriptors para maging success ang pagtuturo nila sa mga guro at mataas na antas ng kaalaman ng mga bata. This will help the teachers to promote the common standards of professional teachers that will lead to a good performance among teachers in the Southeast Asia. Now, let's talk about the 4 essential competencies. First is the knowing and understanding what to teach. It is the ability of teachers to deepen and broaden their knowledge on what to teach, to understand educational trends, policies, and curricula, and be updated on local, national, regional, and global developments. It explains that the teachers have the ability to deepen their understanding based on what they are taught by the students, to expand their knowledge and to understand the social-emotional learning of the students and other policies and curricula, to update the local, national, regional, and global developments of the teachers can do. Second, helping students to learn. It is the ability to know students use the most effective teaching and learning strategies, assess and give feedback on how students learn. It means that the teacher should know the ability of the students to know their strengths and weaknesses and learn the most effective strategies on how to teach students and learn their values to give positive impact of the students on how to learn and affect them as a learner. Third, engaging the community. It is the ability to partner with parents and caregivers, involve the community to help the students learn, and encourage respect and diversity. It means that parent-teachers relationship help the students to learn something new and encourage to respect the community and the diversity. Good environment can help the students to be a good individual and lead them as a role model. Last, becoming a better teacher every day. This is the ability to know oneself and others, practice human goodness, and then master the teaching practice. First, as a teacher, must need their career practice in knowing the good attitudes that surrounds in order to become a teacher and role model to other people. It means po na dapat patuloy ka pa rin natututo sa araw-araw kahit na nasan ka man, and matututo ka na ma-improve pa yung sarili mo sa pamamagitan ng pakikipagkapwa-tao sa mga ibang tao at ugnayan sa ibang tao at pagpapakita ng magandang ugali sa kanila. And it is becoming a better teacher every day. At patuloy ka pa rin nai-improve yung sarili mo at nalalaman mo yung strength and weaknesses mo. Now, let us look at the details of these essential competencies. In the matrix that follow, you will find the 4 essential competencies, 12 general competencies, and the corresponding 31 enabling competencies. First, know and understand what I teach. Kailangan na alam mo yung bawat tinuturo mo sa mga bata upang mas ma-engage pa yung knowledge nila at marami silang matutunan sa'yo. Under general competencies, deepen and broaden my knowledge on what I teach. Kailangan mas malawak yung kaisipan mo sa pagtuturo and alam mo dapat yung tinuturo mo. Under enabling competencies, may dalawa po tayong nakapaloob dito. First is master my subject content. Kailangan alam mo yung bawat na tinuturo mo at alam mo yung agos ng yung tinuturo. Next is use research-based knowledge. Kailangan mo ding maghanap ng impormasyon na mahalaga sa mga kailangan sa pamamagitan ng mga gamit na libro or internet. Next is understand educational trends, policies, and curricula. Kailangan naiintindihan mo yung iba't ibang pulisiya ng iyong pagtuturo. Under ng enabling competencies, may tatlong nakapaloob dito. Una is, update myself on educational trends. Kailangan alam mo yung nangyayari sa kapaligiran mo. Next is, study educational policies and how they affect teachings. Kailangan mong pag-aaralan yung mga pulisiya sa pagtuturo and dapat maganda yung epekto nito sa iyong pagtuturo. Last is understand how to implement the curriculum. Kailangan alam mo kung paano i-implement yung curriculum na ginagawa mo. Next is 1.3, keep myself updated on local, national, regional, and global development. Alam mo dapat na yung nangyayari sa local, national, regional, and global development para aware ka sa mga nangyayari sa paligid mo. Under nito is merong isang nakapaloob dito. Check new changes in education environment. Kailangan na safe yung environment na pinagtuturuan mo para maraming malaman yung mga estudyante mo and maintindihan yung ginagawa mo and tinuturo mo. Next, help my students learn. Kailangan mong matutunan yung mga estudyante mo kung ano yung mga strengths and weaknesses nila. Under ng general competencies, first is know my students. Alamin mo yung pangangailangan nila. Under nito, may nakapaloob na tatlong policy. Una is identify my student needs and strengths to help them learn better. Alamin mo yung kakayahan na kaya nila para magabayan mo sila sa mga hindi kaya nilang gawin para ma-improve pa nila yung sarili nila. Next is understand how my students learn. Tanungin yung mga bata yan, alamin mo yung natututunan nila sa'yo. Next is value what makes my students unique. Kailangan mong i-appreciate yung kahalagan ng mga estudyante mo base sa kanilang natutunan and sa kanilang strengths and weaknesses. Next po is the under general competencies. Pangalawa po is use the most effective teaching and learning strategy. Under nito is may nakapaloob na enabling competencies na tatlo. First is select appropriate teaching and learning strategy. Alamin mo yung kung saan sila nababagay na ituro para malaman mo yung strategy mo sa pagtuturo. Next is design clear and effective lessons by students can understand. Iangkop mo yung tinuturo mo sa kanila para mas lalo nilang maintindihan at maging epektibo sa kanila para ma-improve pa nila yung sarili nila at marami silang matutunan sa'yo. Last is under general competencies, assess and give feedback on them. Dapat minomonitor mo yung mga estudyante mo and sinasabi mo sa kanila yung kung ano yung kulang para ma-improve pa nila yung sarili nila. Under ng enabling competencies, una is design assessment process and tools. Kailangan nakaangkop yung mga assessment na pinapagawa mo sa kanila para mas lalo nilang ma-improve yung sarili nila. Next is monitor my student progress and provide appropriate support. kailangan mong alamin yung kung ano yung progress ng kaalaman nila para ma-provide mo yung suporta na kailangan ng malaman nila. Last is use results from assessment to improve instruction. Kailangan, 'di ba halimbawa pag nag-assessment, kailangan mong i-check ito para malaman mo yung resulta ng test nila, para malaman mo kung sino yung mababa, sino yung mataas, and saan sila mag-i-improve pa sa kanilang assessment. And panatilihin mong maganda yung instruction na ibibigay mo sa kanila para masundan nila itong mabuti. Third, engage the community. Kailangan mapalawak mo pa yung knowledge mo sa pamamagitan ng pagtingin sa mga social differences ng mga nakapaligid sa iyo, gaya ng mga community. Under general competencies, una dito is partner with parents and caregivers. Mahalaga na may connection kayo sa bawat isa para mas ma-improve mo pa yung yung knowledge na nalalaman mo and ma-applyan mo ito sa mga students na dapat mong turuan. May nakapaloob na 3 enabling competencies under dito. Una is build a support network. Mag-build ka ng strong relationship para ma-build yung kailangan ng bata. Next is create a welcoming space. Kailangan mong i-welcome yung komunidad mo sa sarili mo para mas lalo ka pang ma-engage. Third is sustain the partnership. I-build mo yung strong relationship
Hello po, good day everyone. I'm Ana Junina Miranda and today, iko-continue ko po yung topic ni Miss Christy Joy which is yung competency framework for teachers in Southeast Asia. As you can see po, yung diniscuss niya is yung detailed information about 4 essential competencies, and under 4 essential competencies, we have 12 general competency. And yung nasa picture ko ngayon is yung summary na lang po ng topic niya. So, move on na po tayo sa next part po ng aming topic or next part po ng aming report, which is yung Philippine Qualification Framework or PQF. So, ano nga po ba yung PQF? As part of the ASEAN convergence and in the light of each country in the ASEAN, the Philippines adopts national standards and levels for education. This is called the Philippine Qualification Framework or PQF. C1s provided by law. Republic Act 10968 under 2018, based on the level of education as PQF Level 6, the PQF describes career path for baccalaureate degrees programs including teacher education degrees. All graduates from the baccalaureate degrees are expected to exhibit outcomes in Table 4. Additional information lang po before anything else, ASEAN po is Association of Southeast Asian Nations. It is a regional grouping that promotes economic, political, and security cooperation among its 10 members: Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Myanmar, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. So clearly po, Philippines is one of the 10 members of ASEAN. That's why po inadapt ng Philippines yung national standards and levels for outcomes in education na meron yung ASEAN. Here po in our country, we call it PQF or Philippine Qualification Framework. Ang PQF po is dinidescribe niya and na-assist niya po tayo sa bachelor's degree na meron tayo patungo doon sa path kung saan belong yung kursong kinuha natin. So for example po, yung kinuha mo is Bachelor of Business Administration. So dapat po meron kang skills and knowledge about sa degree na kinuha mo. Kasi po yun yung expected sa iyo as business administration students. So another example po, as a education students, tingnan po natin kung ano yung expected sa atin as the future educators. Knowledge, skills, and values. Graduates possess a broad level of coherent knowledge and skills in the professional work and lifelong learning. Kapag po natapos natin yung bachelor degree na to, dapat po we are knowledgeable enough para magturo at ma-share yung natutunan natin sa mga students natin. Application of knowledge, skills, and values. Application of professional work in a broad range of discipline and or for further study. Kapag po nakapasa tayo sa board exam and naging licensed teacher na tayo, dapat we should know how to apply our knowledge and skills and value the teacher must have. Dapat po we work professional, we act professional. Next po is the application of knowledge, skills, and values. Application of professional work in a broad range of discipline and or for further study. Kapag po nakapasa tayo sa board exam at naging licensed teacher na tayo, dapat po we should know how to apply the knowledge, skills, and values that teacher must have. Dapat po professional tayong magtrabaho and we act professional din po. Next po is the degree of independence. As a professional teacher po, dapat independent tayo, flexible enough para magampanan pa po yung ibang related sa fields natin. So next po, let's find out what are the purpose of the Philippine Qualification Framework. The PQF is a legal document that adopts national standards and level for outcomes. It assists individuals to move easily between different education and training sectors and the labor market. Further, the PQF aligns the international qualification for full recognition of the value of the
Hi, I am Maria Brinis Mercado, your future teacher, and I will continue the topic of my classmates. The letter D, Philippines Professional Standards for Teachers, or what we call PPST. Based on the Teacher Education and Development Map in 2006, Philippine teacher education is defined as a lifelong journey from entry to basic education into depth ed to entry to teacher education institution of the CHED to licensing as professional teachers of the PRC to employment to depth ed with attestation of the civil service or private basic education. The continuing professional development continues until the person retires from employment or continues to practice the professional in another security or the other capacity. In the middle of the professional lifelong cycle are the professional teacher standards known before as National Competency-Based Teacher Standards, and now it's known as the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. Ayun po yung tawag sa PPSD po. Yung dating po. Being responsible for the pre-service development of teachers, teacher education institutions have a responsibility of graduating students with PQF 6 qualifications and to master the PPST beginning teacher standards as well as the program outcomes of CHED's PSG for teacher education. The mastery of the beginning teacher competencies is an expectation of the teaching industry in basic education. So these are the schematic diagram that represent the 7 domains of the PPST. So number 1, content knowledge and pedagogy. Content knowledge and pedagogy. Number 2, learning environment. Number 3, diversity of learners. Number 4, curriculum and planning. Number 5, assessment and reporting. Number 6, community linkage and professional engagement. Number 7, personal growth and professional development. So, these are the schematic diagram that represent the 7 domains of the PPSD. So, yun lang po. Again, I am Maria Bernice Mercado from BSED 1A.
Hi everyone, my name is Abigail Lama from BSED 1A Fruvel, and now I will continue our topic of Chapter 6. So I will report about the career stage 1, which is the beginning teachers. 7 domains of PPST collectively comprise 37 strands to refer more specific dimensions of teacher practice. Each strand is calibrated according to the professional development skill or as described. Career Stage 1, Beginning Teachers. Newly qualified to teach as professional teachers are the beginning teachers. They have acquired an appropriate degree in education or allied field and have passed the licensure examination for professional teachers. Dito sa part na to is yung mga qualified na magturo bilang professional teacher dahil nakakuha sila ng degree at nakapasa sa board exam. At nabigyan sila ng lisensya para maging isang kwalipikadong guro. And now let's move on to the Domain 1, Content Knowledge and Pedagogy. 1.1, Content Knowledge and its Application. Competency Indicators for Beginning Teachers. 1.1.1, Demonstrate content knowledge and its within across curriculum areas application within curriculum teaching areas. 1.2 Research-based knowledge and principles of teaching and learning. 1.2.1 Demonstrate an understanding of research-based knowledge and principles of teaching and learning. 1.3 Positive use of ICT. 1.3.1 Show positive skills of ICT. 1.4 Strategies for promoting literacy and numeracy. 1.4.1 Demonstrate knowledge of teaching strategies that promotes literacy and numeracy skills. 1.5 Strategies of developing critical and creative thinking as well as other order thinking skills. 1.5.1 Apply teaching strategies that develop critical and creative thinking and other higher order thinking skills. 1.6 Mother tongue or Filipino and English in teaching and learning. Use of mother tongue. So dito na nga sa part na to is yung tinuturo ng mga teachers is mother tongue na like Filipino and English. 1.7 Classroom communication strategies. 1.7.1 Understanding the range of verbal and nonverbal communication strategies that support learner understanding, participation, and engagement. And now let's move on to the domain 2, learning environment. 2.1 Learner safety and security. 2.1.1 Guidelines provide safe and secure learning environments. 2.2 Fair learning environment. 2.2.1 Promote fairness, respect, and care to encourage learning. 2.3 Manage of classroom structures and activity. 2.3.1 Managing classrooms structures. 2.4 Support for learner participation. 2.4.1 Nurture and inspire learner participation. 2.5 Promotion of purposive learning. 2.5.1 Motivates learners to work for their own learning. 2.6 Management of learner behavior. 2.6.1 Nonviolent discipline. And now let's move on to the domain 3, diversity of learners. 3.1 Learners' gender, needs, strengths, interests, and experiences. Competency indicator for beginning teachers 3.1.1 Understanding of differentiated teaching to the learners, gender, strengths, interests, and experiences. 3.2 Learners' linguistic, cultural, socioeconomic, and religious backgrounds. 3.3 Learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talents. 3.4 Learners in difficult circumstances. 3.5 Learners from indigenous groups. 3.5.1 Knowledge of teaching strategies that are inclusive for learners from indigenous people. And I'm done with the 3 domains of PPST, and now let's move on to the 4th domains, which is reported by Ms. Mariela Mendoza. Thank you so much po.
Hi, I'm Mariela Bianca Mendoza, and I will continue the report with my groups. And the topic who assigned to me is the Domain 4, Curriculum and Planning. Curriculum and Planning to develop well-coordinated, do-quality teaching, learning, and assessment programs which build students' knowledge, skills, and behaviors. The Domain 5, Assessment and Reporting. It is important to ensure that student needs are being met. Yung kailangan nila o yung dapat na natututunan nila is dapat mai-provide mo sa kanila o dapat maturo mo sa kanila ng maayos. The Domain 6 is the community linkage and professional engagement. It refers to interplay between employees and health facilities within a locality. The Domain 7, personal growth and professional development. It refers to gaining new skills and experience, means your development is either related to do next. Yung hindi ka lang basta-basta mag-i-stay sa isang bagay, ganun. Dapat lagi kang nag-i-improve. May improvement to yourself. And these are the the strands and domain which I played to the next of my video.
Good morning. I'm Irene Madillas from Bachelor of Early Childhood Education, and now I will continue our topic on Chapter 6. So I will report the last part, which is the summary. Philippine Teachers Education. Through experience and working in a school settings, teachers are integrating their work and most likely to learn within the context of their work or problem. May encounter teachers' lifelong role in teaching sector that for empowerment that learners will value and will reflective to their action. Professional Teachers Standard. So, the standard of being professional teachers attributes the knowledge and to understand how to manage learners in terms of teaching them good manners and how teachers should provide a full information on the lessons that they are about to discuss. The skill of every teachers are flexible and adaptable in every changes that they encounter. National Competency-Based Teacher Standard is now known as Philippine Professional Standard for Teachers is a reform initiative on teachers' quality from pre-service education to in-service training. It is founded on teaching philosophies of learners, centeredness, lifelong learning, and inclusiveness among others. Philippine Professional Standard for Teachers PPST has 7 domains, collectively comprises of 37 standards. Each stand is calibrated according to the professional development scale.